Hi, welcome back to Analytical Media. You're a consortium, a group of therapists, college professors, and well-published peer-reviewed authors. Today's question: can you explain the 6 communication truths that everyone should know? We can and we will. Number 1, monitor yourself. You know what you wanted to say. You know what you tried to say. But communication is difficult. You need to examine your words, your sentences, to see if it does communicate. Check yourself. As I said, monitor your words, hear yourself, listen to yourself. Look at the person you're communicating with. Do they seem to understand? Are your words, are they responding to your words as if they understand them the way you intended them to be understood? So step number 1 is about you, thinking about your communication, examining your communication, and even questioning the other person that you're communicating with to see if your words are having the intended effect. Number 2, you've heard what the other person has to say. You've heard their response. But what you've heard may not be what they intended. They think they know what they said. They think they know what you should have heard, but they might be wrong. So in step 2, you need to probe the other party to understand what they're trying to say. You question them. Are you trying to say this? Did you mean this? Question them. Listen to them. Underlying all of this is the concept of communication. The concept that communication is difficult. It's very difficult. It's exceedingly difficult. It's something you need to work on. But you cannot assume that what you said was taken as intended, nor that what was said to you was said in a fashion that correctly communicated the intent of the speaker. Just to assume that you understand and they understand you is a terrible mistake, which will lead to bad things. Number 3, recognizing that communication is difficult. Anticipate your conversations. Think about them in advance. Maybe the night before. Maybe rehearse it during a shower, when you're driving in the car. Then you'll be able to hear if you've chosen the right words. You'll hear it in an objective fashion without endangering a relationship. So number 3 is really about practice and rehearsal. If it's an important conversation, have a test run. If it's a very important conversation, have a number of test runs. When you wake up in the morning, think about what you want to say. Take the time that you're laying in bed to try to put together the right words, to come at it the right way. Some people believe, many theorists believe, that dreams do that. Dreams help you rehearse situations, confrontation, communications. Number 4, try writing the communication down. Try expressing it in the written word. In writing, it takes logic. It takes complete sentences. It's much more involved than verbal communication. Take the time to write something down, read it, and write it again. The more important a conversation, the more time you could take practicing this through writing. Now, do not bring the written text with you to the conversation, but you will have been practiced enough to organize your thoughts. You might even bring a few notes with you, but don't read what you've written in advance or try to memorize it. Number 5, forget the words and look at the emotional impact you're having with the person you're communicating with. Is this person uninvolved? Is this person becoming emotional? Are they becoming angry? Are they becoming sad? Are they half listening to you? So judge what's happening with the other person. Forget the words. Don't focus on that. We need to see how they're responding to you. If they do not appear to be listening or paying attention to you, then you can think about the circumstance. Are they doing something else? Are they absorbed in something else? Are they being interrupted by something else? If the answer is yes, then you would do it at a different time. Have this conversation at a different time. Pull the plug on a conversation. But if there are not outside influences interfering with the communication or the ability of the other party to listen, if those things are not there, then they don't care enough to pay attention to what you're saying, and you should change your conversation, your words, to react to the situation. A serious conversation is not about to occur, so it would no longer be wise to attempt a serious communication. If it's either postpone it, cancel it, and canceling it might be fine if you realize they don't care enough about me to listen to me, to give me their full attention. Then cancel what you're about to say. Cancel the whole thing. Make the adaptation. In other words, who you're talking to and your relationship with them will determine what you say to them, how you say it to them, how long the conversation will go. Number 6, learn to speak the language that is spoken by the person you are attempting to communicate with. Obviously, we're not talking about foreign languages. Speaking of French, we're not speaking of German. We're using the expressions, the terms, the vocabulary of the person we're speaking to. You need to find where they're at, and they'll reveal that to you in their communication with you. You need to rise to their level or sink to their level. You may be a much better communicator and know many more words, and know words that are much more explanatory than simpler words. But the person you're speaking to uses simpler words. They use a more base vocabulary. You need to speak their vocabulary. For instance, if you're speaking about the sexual act, do you refer to it as coitus after they have referred to it with the F word? I think you can understand what I'm saying. And they have to be positive. They have to have a safe, positive experience with you if you are going to produce communication. If they feel that you're putting them down in some way, if do they feel that you are making them feel inadequate, or do they feel that you're trying to make them seem dumber than you, less educated, less intelligent? Do they feel that you are being arrogant, egotistical, using these big words? I mean, they know what the big words are for the most part, but they choose not to use it because that's not what they say with their immediate friends and family. So it's important, in number 6, it is important to speak the language of the person you're communicating with. We can look at this in more depth, and we can talk about any one of these, but these are the 6 main methods, principles, truths that everyone should know to improve their communication. If there's anything else we can do for you, please let us know. This is Analytical Media. We will return. We'll see you on the next video.